Our Neurovision keys to the game with Allen Americans head coach Steve Martinson. Marty, great, 2 games here at home. Matter of fact, if you go back and look, we got quite the little winning streak going back to the regular season ending.
Well, that's what you want to do. You want to be winning when you're going to the playoffs. So, I think we're playing good defensively. Obviously getting Amorosa back there has helped a lot, but we also have lines defending, and we're not, we had turnovers in the first game, which gave them momentum in the first. And then the other way you give them momentum in the first is by taking penalties. So having 2 power plays in the first 10 minutes is not a good recipe for a good start.
It was a physical game last night, but I looked and there was only 18 total penalty minutes. Were they letting more things slide by last night?
Yeah, I think they let a little bit go, and they probably could have stepped in on some of the scrums. But in fairness to them, I think they were trying to let us play, and which I think favors us. We're used to playing physical games. We've been playing them all year, and obviously it would have been nice to have Dyson out there in a physical game, but at some point he'll be back.
The one thing that was on display last night was McCauley, LeBurge, Franklin, pretty much hitting everything that moves. That obviously was sending a message to them last night, because it seemed like they were taking a few liberties with us after the whistle in game 1.
Well, they took they made a stupid penalty. What's his name? 39 there. He took it was an obvious penalty. It was a late hit from behind, and we ended up scoring on the 4-on-4. I think we scored on the power play on it. We scored on the 4-on-4, but we want to be disciplined, and I didn't like the high stick. That I thought they cross-checked. They said they were going to crack down on cross-checking, and Newman, he did high stick the guy, and he brought a stick up because the guy was cross-checking. But you can't do that. You got to take the hit and not retaliate.
Marty, in a best of 5 series compared to a best of 7, how differently do you coach, manage your players? Is there any difference at all?
Well, the key thing is it's 4 and 5. So we've been able to play 4 lines, and, we're getting scoring from 4 lines, and, you see Shirley's got outside speed on 2 goals, and, so that helps us a lot. That if a series goes more than 3 games, we're getting a lot from our whole team, which you're not tiring, out your key players. So, but, our strategy, in getting the first 2 games at home, ultimately, you can use a lot of cliches, 1 game at a time and all that, but they got to win, they know in the back of their minds, they got to win 3 straight. They can't lose a game, or the season's over with. So there's a lot of pressure on them, obviously.
And looking just at the numbers this morning, goaltending wise in the league, there's Patterson, number 2, and CJ Mott, number 3. And some of those big names that were having great seasons, the Hildebrands and such, are down at the bottom right now. I know that was a crazy game the other night between Florida and South Carolina. They're up 5-0, and all of a sudden here come the Stingrays, in the third period, made of the game.
Well, the other thing is the bigger sample. Mott was really good in his last 2 games for us in the regular season, and same with, they all were. Marat was too, but Mott and Patterson was really good going down the stretch, and we were able to rotate the 3 and really go into the playoffs with our goalies fresh. So, we feel like no matter which goalie, counting Marat, gets the start, is we're in a good situation.
When you watch Brett Newman play, and he gets that crazy goal last night, whether it went off the shaft or however it ended up in the net, this kid, he's got stardom written all over him. This is only his rookie season, and he already looks better than 80% of the guys out there on the ice.
Well, he's got a lot of speed, and he can play a lot. So he kind of double shifts and plays in different spots. One night, one shift he's center, one shift he's right wing, and as the game goes on, he's got the energy. He's not using much. We're not using him much in the power play because we kind of go in with same units, and getting Shea is kind of taking away that spot on the wall. But obviously, he's got 2 game winners back to back, and he's creating chances and scoring opportunities.
And that's the one good thing about Sheehy. You look, he leads our team now in shots on goal through the first couple playoff games. And I know still getting his feet going out there, but, if Tyler is going to be valuable, he's got to take those shots because he's got a great shot.
He's got a great shot, but he also, makes solid plays. And, we're counting on him to continue doing that. But, he just quietly leads by example. He's the leader in the locker room, and, he just does everything right on the ice, and he gives you, effort. And, he's got one of those personalities that, he just, I guess he's a likable guy because, he's not really, I don't think really verbal in the locker room, but like I said, he just leads by example on the ice and gets the job done.
Scott Conway, I get questions about him all the time from fans. You look up at the scoring list here today, and Conway and Asachuk are tied for the league lead in scoring. And the one thing we found out, he's got a hell of a shot. The one timer that he had against Rapid City over the last weekend from the left circle. And I know it wasn't Hansen, but it reminded me a little bit of Gregor Hansen, just the way he just ripped that in.
Yeah, no, he does. He shoots like Hansen. He just got that quick one-timer, and Hansen was money in the playoffs too. I mean, Hansen is, he's probably the all-time money goal scorer, obviously, for us. I think he scored 50 goals in 100 playoff games, which is unbelievable, exceptional. And, but yeah, I mean, he's not as physical as Hansen was, but he's got a great shot, and he's, when we had him the first time and we got guys back from injury, I told him, and, when we lost those 9 players that week, I told him to be ready, that I would get him back the first opportunity I had, that, we had a budget and we had too many players. And so, I knew that he was going to score, and one of his line mates plays with the Iowa Wild, and, really gave him a good recommendation. So, we're counting on him to continue to score big goals.
All right. Thanks a lot, Marty. Appreciate it.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.